Hello everyone and welcome to game number 2 between Socke and Servy, this time on Metalopolis, and we are going to have Socke spawning this time as the blue Protoss at the 12 o'clock position and Servy spawning as the red Terran at the 6 o'clock position. Now, gonna say just a few things about the last game. In case you haven't seen it, then please do go watch because it's a really long game and it's really one of those beautiful macro games where there's tons of stuff to learn and really some original playing that I haven't really seen. Especially on the Protoss side, and really good play, really good game from both sides. So I can't really say. I can only say that Socke is a really good player, and his unit control is extremely accurate, and his macro is really beautiful to to watch. And I mean, carriers are such a good unit if you know how to mix it into the rest of your army. If you just gradually transition to it. People think like, oh, he's going for carrier rush. I mean, if I get carriers, I have to give them like fast, otherwise they're crap, they're not good, you know. But the thing is, it's not like that. Carriers are one of those units, just like battle cruisers. I mean, you can see tons of good players using battle cruisers. So why not use carriers? It's really not mandatory. It's what's it called? What's the word? It's really, there's no point in making a statement like that. The thing is, carriers, they don't really have any practical use in the early game because they're so easily countered. I mean, you can just get a bunch of Marines and you counter carriers really great. But if you get them like late game and you already have like tons of units to support them with, like in that case Archons and High Templar and Immortals and Colossus and stuff like that, you know, and just things to kill off Vikings and whatever wants to go for your carriers, then you can actually do that because, I mean, there is no point in you can just bait stuff with your carriers and then kill off other stuff while the enemy tries to kill off your carriers, because he's gonna want to kill your carriers because carriers deal a lot of damage and they're really great. If you don't kill them, you're in really big trouble. And here we have Socke putting this probe down over here doing the dizzy patrol dance, and a scout from Servy in Socke's base right now, starting to see if there's anything happening, but pretty much the same build from Socke this game as last game. Gateway into fast cyber core, and then probably Stalker on the way. And we have a supply depot being placed down here. Now, obviously, for those of you who don't know, these smoke pipes over here, they block off vision from this side to this side and vice versa. So you want to put something down here to avoid a player coming and dropping something, whatever, in this corner of your base. And obviously these vents, these steam vents or whatever they are placed in every base. Now let's see what's gonna happen over here. Socke is just looking all over the place. Seems he's really interested in seeing if there's any proxy buildings on close to his base. Not really finding anything yet, but there we go. So another pretty fast expansion, just like last game. So Socke getting relatively fast expansion. As a Protoss especially, not really choosing to wall it off. I mean, lots of people trying to wall off their expansions at least close to their choke, but not really feasible on Metalopolis because of this huge area over here. I mean, you can't really wall this off. There are so many entrances to a natural expansion, so many ways of access. And we see the Terran player pretty much doing the same thing, almost at the same time, getting a pretty fast expansion. We're gonna see that landing down at the sorry about the noise. Landing down here at the natural as well. Other than that, let's see, warp gate technology is on the way and it's almost done. Let's see if this game Socke is going to go for more gateway units or not. He has this sentry up here. Now you want to have this sentry just in case some nasty push comes here and you need that force field. I mean, there's all sorts of funky stuff. I mean, look at all these Marines. Given these Marines would walk up right now, Socke would be dead, because those Marines would pretty much kill like every probe if microed properly. So you want to have that force field available to you. Now there's a lot of probes being moved down to the natural right now, and the Terran player is getting his expansion up at the almost exact same time. The probes and the SCVs are transiting at the same time. Now Socke trying to take advantage of the fact that the Stalkers have a little bit extra range over the Marines, trying to deal as much damage as he can, taking down that Helion and weakening these Marines. And third warp gate, so this is 3 warp gates and a robo facility, but pre-igniter on the way for Servy, so Servy's gonna probably try getting some of those Helions in a mineral line over here, and trying to take out a lot of probes with them. Let's see if he's gonna manage to do that. Any Helions on the way? Yep, 1 Helion there, and robotics bay on the way again for Socke, so Colossus again this game. He sees there's a lot of infantry, so he suspects that there's going to be more infantry to come from now on. Now the thing is, I already see 2 factories, which means most likely that there is going to be mech coming out at one point or another. But right now, just placing this factory on the reactor, so getting a lot of Helions right now. So he wants like 4 Helions, I suppose, something like that, to go into the mineral line and just take out as many probes as he can. Now, let's just check out what the players are going to go for. I can't really say right now. I can just say, in theory, some Colossus with some gateway units, but let's see what that's going to be, if he's going to get a lot of Stalkers, or actually he's getting some Zealots as well. No Twilight Council yet, though, and the Twilight Council is really good if you go for... it's not good, obviously, it's a building that doesn't really do anything, but it gives you those... Oh, and he spots the Helions on the way. It's a building that gives you those upgrades for Stalkers and Zealots. But let's see the Helions, and they're just marching in straight away, not really caring so much. And there we go, force field again. There we go, nice force field. And just not doing that much, getting a few probe kills off, but really not that many. But stopping, he did stop mining over here, but I think he got like 5-6 probes in total. But that's really not warranted for wasting 4 Helions. So that's like 400 minerals, while the probes are like 250, 300 at tops. So we have Socke marching across the map on this side, trying to check for hidden expansion over here. Is he going to walk up? He has no observer scouting this side yet. That's really weird. And these Helions just being warded back by the Stalkers. And Socke is moving again. I think he's gonna try sniping some Helions. He really likes sniping Helions with Stalkers. And let's see, 1, and that one doesn't go down. No micro going on there, so he didn't really target that Helion to take it down. But there's 1 Colossus on the way, and thermal lance, extended thermal lance is almost done, and another Colossus is already out. So that's 2 Colossus plus quite a few gateway units. He still has these Zealots here. And this is weapons level 1. That's quite late upgrade for weapons level 1. And here we have the Twilight Council on the way, so suspect we'll be seeing Blink or Charge being researched as soon as it's done. Now taking a look at the income tab, should be pretty equal. No, actually Terran player is ahead, but this is mostly due to these mules. I mean, gas income is mostly the same. But those mules offering a little bit more mineral income. And oh, he has to be really... Oh, and 2 Helions dying so fast. That is so incredibly fast that those Colossus kill off low HP targets. And Colossus is a really interesting unit, and a really original unit. I mean, I think most people agree with me that Colossus is like the most interesting unit Protoss has. It's like... It doesn't really have any special abilities, but the way it's built, the concept of the unit, I think that's what I meant actually. The concept of the unit is really interesting, and it's really good. I mean, we've all seen, or most of us have seen, War of the Worlds, and we know kind of the apropos Blizzard was making when they created the Colossus, but still a very cool unit, and really nice to see it in a futuristic game like StarCraft 2. You know, this is a lot of Helions, and they all have pre-igniter, but they're not really going to be of any use as long as these Stalkers are here. And the only thing they're really good against is probes, and sentries and zealots. But let's see if he gets to use them right now. There is a lot of tanks already out on the field, and 3rd expansion being deployed for Terran as well. So 3 bases against 3 right now, and Servy sees Socke moving across the map towards his spawn location, and let's see if Socke is gonna actually go for this, or what is happening over here. A drop in the main, most likely. But Socke is closing in on this location. Good scan over there, checking out, seeing all those units moving across. Now Servy is going to redeploy his tanks on this side to make sure that he can defend the incoming push. Now let's see what happens. And Socke is just scoping stuff out. He has this observer here. He knows about everything that's happening in on this side, but he does decide to move in anyway. He just wants to take down all the infantry, I believe. Yep, there we go. He has to be careful now, though, but Colossus do really good damage against tanks, I do remind you. So there we go, trying to bait some of those Helians in. And there we go, a lot of Helians getting taken out, because Colossus just do such great damage against Helians, but they're going to be taken down by that Viking over there. And there's one real Colossus over there. Don't get why that Viking pulled back. And these Helians are actually making their way across. Did he drop those? Yep, he did. So these are those Helians, most likely dropped from that medevac. And on the production tab we have so he's, yep, he did research blink, and now charge is almost done, so that's gonna be a pretty significant improvement in the gateway units. Oh, and this is gonna be pretty crappy, I suppose, and has to be very careful though. Getting a few kills, I think, 5, 6, 7 probe kills over there, and a few Helians being loaded up here. Are there any cannons close to the mineral line here? No, not really, but there's not really any probes, so I guess he's just gonna try and kill off the probes mining the gas right now. So here we go, we have the medevac approaching, and it's gonna drop 2 Helians. And are those Helians moving in there? Yep, they are right now. And he needs to take out the probes. He takes out 2 probes, 3 probes, and now firing away at the fleet beacon. But good that he did scout the fleet beacon. He knows it's there. And we have Void Rays on the way. I've seen 2 already. Up there we go. But will we see? Wow, Socke has this really interesting transition, doesn't he? From gateway units to robotics facility to Stargate units. And I wonder if we're gonna see any carriers this game. There's another Stargate on the way, so once that's done, let's see if there's gonna be any carriers. I'm not exactly sure why he's getting so many Void Rays. Void Rays are typically good against Thors, but they are decent against Vikings as well, although not so many Vikings out on the field. Or my bad, actually, a lot of Vikings on the field. He got them for the Colossus. Now, the Void Rays are pretty good against Vikings, although Vikings do have a range advantage. And the Void Rays are typically good if they get the charge off. But here we go. A push coming in here, and he has to be very careful. Yep, he's backing off. And let's see, no, he's backing off his 3 Void Rays. Was wondering to see if he's gonna try taking down this planetary fortress over here, but it seems not. Probably these Vikings would just intercept the Void Rays and kill them off. Now, Socke is getting his 4th base up. I mean, he's already gotten it up while the Terran is still on 3, but the Terran is pushing right now, so Socke needs to be very careful about what he's doing right here. Nice blink over there, intercepting a lot of those Vikings, and the Void Rays doing some damage to the Vikings as well, but the Colossus are taking a lot of damage. And here we go, the Vikings are I don't know, it's not really so. He needs a lot of stalkers. I don't really understand why he got so many Void Rays. I would seriously favor stalkers over Void Rays anytime, especially against Vikings and tanks, because stalkers can blink in there and they're so good. But the Void Rays are actually decent against Thors. But let's see if Socke is gonna lose this. Is he gonna try moving his probes up from here? Is he just gonna let them die? I'm not exactly sure. And some probes getting taken out here. Socke, what are you doing? Your macro is slipping. Could have just moved those probes up and then move them back down again. I'm not exactly sure. But let's see if he replenished his army with something like, oh, and we have a mothership on the way. Yes. Yes, I'm so tired right now. You can probably feel it in my voice. But I'm happy to see that the mothership is being chrono boosted. It's actually not. Yep. No, it's not being chrono boosted right now. He needs to chrono boost this. Should chrono boost this mothership out. He's chrono boosting Void Rays still. I'm not exactly sure why he's getting so many Void Rays, but man, Socke knows what he's doing. I'd rather actually prefer carriers in this case, but like he did last game. But he's going for Void Rays now, and that's that. But the gold already up for Servy, so he's on 4th bases right now, and Planetary Fortress at the gold, so that's really not good for Socke. Socke needs to really do something about this. He needs to deal with the Terran army, but there are so many tanks.